Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident Podcast, a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. Welcome, I'm Jen, and we have Sambaza, host and creator of the Sambaza podcast, where culture, conversation, and connection meet. He brings his sharp insights, humor, and global perspective to each discussion, always ready to dig deep and keep it real. Sambaza adds that perfect balance of thought and energy and welcome.
Hey Jen, you're making me sound so nice today.
Yeah, we did
Like a
intro number
superstar.
2 today. So,
That's
how's it
that's
going?
going is great. The usual. Just have to make sure I am here. And yeah. How was your week, by the way?
Not too bad, pretty good.
I,
Got some nice service projects and Black History programs in the city. So, yeah.
I saw you had your is it your niece did something the other day?
Yes. So she's in the mentoring group with our top
Mhm.
ladies of Distinction organization, and they presented at a Black History program. And so we had a Black History table at the event here in St. Louis, and she actually was on the program and presented and gave out information and like had her own little segment on the program. So it was really great to see her do that.
Oh,
So.
okay. Awesome, awesome. Auntie was the auntie was helping
Yes,
out.
proud auntie and all the things. So yeah.
So, oh, okay, that's great. Well, for me, I'm doing okay and ready for another show. The week is almost over, but we are ready to do stuff. Um, Somehow there's something wrong
We
here, but
are.
I'm
We
gonna
have
be
one more week of Black History to bring you. And we're going to sneak in some Black History here and there throughout the year, but we definitely enjoy celebrating Black History Month. So yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely, most definitely. I am enjoying my time right now with the Black History, and I mean it's been phenomenal. And I've
Mhm.
actually gotten some bit of work to do this coming weekend with regard to this Black History Month and everything that we're doing. So I'm hoping things will be great next week. I'll probably be coming with some more info about what's going on. However, with that being said, let's start this week. See what's going on. Um, our affirmation of the week, which is for Black History Month, and it says, "My brown skin is beautiful and brilliant." I repeat again, my brown skin is beautiful and brilliant.
Okay. Wasn't expecting that one. That's a nice one.
You didn't? Oh, that's it is one of the better options for whatever for um for the affirmations that I've had for this month. But however, I wanted to tell you about this travel that I did. The usual, when I do my African proverbs, I have to do a travel. So I went to travel to Angola. But
Mhm.
little did I know, this is something new. Angola have a place called Cabinda, Cabinda. It's like a small island, and this is something historical. You'll have to find out. It's one of those things that Congo was going to be landlocked, but you see when
Mhm.
this people started carving out Africa, I think King Leopold asked for a strip to continue over to the sea so that Congo was not landlocked. So there's a strip
Mhm.
that's there, but it cuts off Angola to another enclave. So this Cabinda is a small oil-rich enclave which is part of Angola that was separated by a silver of Republic of Congo, often
Mhm.
called the Kuwait of Africa.
Okay.
Now, the local language is called Ibinda, and the culture is heavily influenced by the traditional Bakongo, Laongo, and Kakongo. These are part of the tribes who were there. You need to go study more. It's really, really interesting about the Africans. They actually come from there. The Bantu, which I'm part of from, comes from right there. That's what we talk about. Natural wonders. There's a forest called Mayombe Forest, which has some bioluminescent or luminescent fungi, which is visible at night or when you're walking at night. This kind of tells you this thing. This is the avatar, kind of
Mhm.
like the avatar thingy. So this is where I think they get these things from. The region also boasts one of the rare pygmy hippopotamus or hippo, if you want to call it. Um, there's also a specific wood famous that they have for carving stones. It's called pau de cabinda. So it's often used for traditional medicine, woodworking, and handicrafts. So this particular wood is only found around there that they use. Now the proverb. This is where it becomes interesting. To punch with a strong fist, you need to turn over your hand.
Hmm.
Uh huh.
Hmm. You want to repeat that one for the?
Again, to punch with a strong fist, you need to turn over your hand.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. I have some thoughts, but it's
Mhm.
probably not right.
No, remember, nothing is wrong when we're doing this. When we're doing this, so everything
Mhm.
is gonna be right. It's just you you try and process it for us. How you
Mhm.
process the proverb? Yeah.
Yeah. So, in order to make an impact, as
Mhm.
though with a strong fist, you need to have a new perspective, fresh outlook, and uh, yeah, I don't
Well,
know. Okay.
okay. So when you look at it, you may want to look at it in terms of, in order to punch, right? You want to get a great punch. You have to fold your fist. So you got to turn over your hand and and fight. So you can't just do it solo. In order to do, you have to get into some type of collaboration in order to get what you want to do in the end.
Okay.
So like before you start a fire, you have to collect some firewood and you have some matches, kind of like that. You can't
Okay.
start something without having a mix or a collaboration
Or
to
done the
start.
work or something like
Yeah,
that, being
yeah,
prepared, right?
yep, yep, yep.
Okay. All right.
How's that?
No,
Great.
that was good. That was good.
Ah, okay. All right. So now, unfortunately, that we have to go and talk about this. We didn't expect it. We just heard about it. Um, um, Reverend Jesse Jackson, who we all know, and in the spirit of Black History Month, we're actually sad to say that he passed on this week. We'll just go on a little bit about the life and legacy of Reverend Jesse Jackson. So we remember him as he was actually called Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr., and he was not an observer of history. He was like a key role in shaping a lot of the things that we right know today. And he opened up doors to what we now know as freedom. And some of these things that we do today
Mhm.
actually came about from him. He was actually a protege of Martin Luther King Jr.,
Mhm.
and he learned a lot from him. And after that, what he came about, well, what I can say is he learned from him and he changed the aspect of how you look at things. He made people believe in the fact that you could be a president. You know, I remember most of the time people would talk about being a black president and make a mockery out of it, like it was something that was not possible. But with Mr. Jesse Jackson, he actually went twice. He
Ran for office twice. Yeah.
twice, yeah, and actually changed the way people thought about African Americans in terms of the democratic nominations and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, so there was a lot that was going on with this particular individual, and with Mr. Jesse Jackson, even from the background of the stuff that he did.
Mhm.
um, I think we can say he was a trailblazer, somebody who, when he started off, Martin Luther King said, "You look different," and he kind of said, "Look, I'm here, and this is what I'm doing, and I think this is what I'm going to change." So a lot of the things that he did for the African Americans were in a positive way, and I mean, he even went and got people out from captivity when they were captured as POWs, prisoners of war. So I can't go too much out of it, but I say he was a great man. And I remember looking at him, and I probably did have the same feeling when I was young. This is in 1988 when he ran. I was in Kenya. It was in eighth grade,
Mhm.
and I think that was the time people started taking question, started to look at an African American person being a president and looking at it like it was a joke. But he actually made it into reality. Like, look, I can go, I can go in and stand for something, and I think it paved the way for Barack Obama. It made it easy for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, shout outs to Jesse Jackson, and um, he'll always be a hero in our heart.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing
And
that.
let me go to the chats here. We have George saying, awesome conversation. Welcome, George. Tiffany Bird says she can't see me. I don't know. I should be able to be seen. I don't know if you can't see me. Try it again. But I should be available. I can see myself. So, um, we, we will be monitoring that and see how it is. But
Yeah.
I think I had a problem there, a little bit malfunction. So, with that having gone through it, let's go in and talk about.
Introduce the topic.
Yes.
Um, so,
Hmm.
no, just wanted to frame it. And before we do that, you have us on the other platforms. Is that right? Just shout out
Yes.
to that.
We're on TikTok, StreamYard, and Facebook.
Okay.
Also Substack, if you're also into Substack, and YouTube. So please come in and say your hellos, tell us where you're chatting from, and we'll be happy to give you a shout out. I see my aunt early in the morning from Kenya, Auntie JT. She's liking this thing, and thank you.
Oh, good.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, definitely. Thank you and shout out to all the ones watching us in real time on all the various platforms. And we appreciate you for tapping in, even just for a little bit. We really appreciate your support. For sure. And so we will introduce our topic. And so if you have been tapping in with us for the month, we have been doing our Black History series. This is our third installment. And we decided to be a little different and do a Pecha Kucha style storytelling format in our presentation of our Black History uh, subjects that we will present some information just for a little bit on the show, just to kind of highlight some lesser known Black history figures that we feel are so important to the culture. And so we just want to share that, and so that you can share it and say, oh, I didn't know that, and tell someone else and pass it on. So with that, Pechakucha is a Japanese style focusing on visuals. And so you'll see some visuals with our presentation. And yeah, so we will get into that in a bit here.
And Jen, you had me now putting those Sora things in there. I'm into the other one. Just go straight up. Move that way. But I want to thank you for actually pushing me to do it. And mine today is gonna be for John C. Robinson. Now, John C. Robinson was known as the Brown Condor. And let's play it and see. Drum roll.
Uh, I think I do have a button for that, but I'm not close to.
Nah, we're good. I
Okay.
mean, we just start off. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Welcome to the Sambaza podcast, celebrating Black History Month 2026. Today we're sharing the story of a true aviation pioneer. This is the story of John Charles Robinson, the man widely known as the Brown Condor. John Charles Robinson was born on November 26, 1903, in Carabel, Florida. He earned the name Brown Condor for his service in the Imperial Ethiopian Air Force against fascist Italy. Robinson completed his education at Gulfport High School for the Colored in 1919, showing a strong interest in mechanics and machinery. In 1921, he attended the Tuskegee Institute to study automotive mechanical science. He repeatedly applied to the Curtiss-Wright School of Aviation in Chicago, but was denied. He took a job as a janitor there and unofficially attended classes until an instructor secured a place for him. He became the school's first Black student. In January 1935, Robinson announced his intention to volunteer to defend Ethiopia against Italy. Emperor Haile Selassie invited him, and Robinson was later named the commander of the Ethiopian Air Force. His achievements in Ethiopia paved the way for African Americans to serve in the U.S. Army Air Corps. This led to the creation of the African American Military Pilot Group, the Tuskegee Airmen, during World War II. Robinson also played a role in the foundation of Ethiopian Airlines. In 1944, he returned to Ethiopia to establish a pilot training school. Robinson is at times referred to as the father of the Tuskegee Airmen. He passed away in Addis Ababa on March 27, 1954, after a plane crash. He was more than a legend. He was a true hero. Thank you for watching the Sambaza podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video.
All right.
Jen, you did a great job. I was like, whoa, whoa, man.
No, you did a good job, right? You put it together.
Look, the final producing. Look, you guys, if you're looking for a producer, this is a producer right here. She is great. Oh, wow. I was like, ooh, okay. Thank you so much.
Funny.
I really appreciate it.
Good. That was great.
Now, something that I want to add on. Now, you guys, and I think we were talking about this. The reason why he actually formed the flight school and had Tuskegee Airmen come in is because he actually championed for them. Now, he flew as a pilot on a plane all the way from Chicago to Alabama, right? That's where the Tuskegee the Tuskegee School is, right? Institute. At that time, it was before it was Tuskegee University. Now, to have flown a plane from that, it takes at least 4 to 5 hours, and this is on a faster plane. I'm talking about now in the 21st century. But
Right.
back then, if I'm to remind you of a plane, and then you're flying within the regular skies. Okay, let me put it to perspective. There was a time was supposed to go to Chicago, and I was gonna go. This is from Dallas. It was taking 4 hours to get there. Then we got late, and then the pilot said, "You know what? We're gonna go, but a little bit later." And then he put the plane into international skies.
Mm-hmm.
So I was supposed to get there at 11, and it took, instead of the 4 hours, I think it took an hour and a half. And I got the same time that I was supposed to get there when I was leaving here at 6 o'clock. We got there at around the same time. So this is how fast it is. And it took a long time for them to do that. But that was the moment where, when he landed, they were like, "Oh, you know what? We need to put this, we need to put an air school." And that's how Tuskegee became, actually, that's how the board started looking at it and said, "You know what? This is something that we can do as a institute." And that's how it all started.
And talk about a trailblazer, and definitely,
Yeah,
really
and
significant.
Ethiopian Airlines. And nowadays Ethiopian Airlines is one of the best airlines. Now, to have started back there, and he ended up even being buried in Ethiopia.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Nice.
never have thought about this one. This was brand new.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great pick for sure. And shout out to the chat. And we're just reframing our topic. We are celebrating Black History Month by highlighting some lesser known Black history figures and subjects. And Sambaza just shared some great information about John C. Robinson,
Yes.
who is known as the Bronze Condor.
Condor is a bird. It's an ugly bird, though. I don't know why they use. I don't know why they
Oh,
use that
okay.
reference. Nah, that bird, is not. It's not a pretty bird. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's not a pretty bird. But they
But that's a
used it.
good analogy, since he's in aviation. So
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah.
Okay, and we have some chat engagement.
Oh yeah. Denise has showed up. She says, "Hello, family. Welcome to the show." And
Yes.
we're glad to have you around.
Yes, good evening and welcome to everyone tapping in on all the various platforms. We appreciate you for checking out the program, and the audio episode will be coming along shortly and soon. All right. Any other thoughts before our next subject?
I think this one was a new one.
Mhm.
I, I kind of liked it with the link of the Ethiopia in Africa.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
the Emperor Haile Selassie was the one who actually sent him the free ticket and everything, and told him, "Hey, you got to show up and come and fight for Ethiopia." He just because he was not going to be allowed to fly anywhere, and they just allowed.
Hmm.
Tiffany Bird here says she loved the brown condor. Thank you,
Okay,
thank you so much. I hope she can
excellent.
see me. All right, Jen. So now, let's take. I'm ready. Jen, yours is like all the. I've got to say,
So,
you're making me the video. Wanting to like this Sora deal. But go ahead.
no, I mean, that's just one, of many of the AI resources available. But I've just been trying to get good at it until I get my AI certificate. I'm putting that out there in the universe. I'm gonna get somebody's AI certificate because I
Oh,
really, yeah, I really like it, and I just, feel like I should be proficient in it. But I'm just, self-taught, just like Jerry Lawson, which we'll hear about, self-taught type of guy. So yeah, I love that.
I think the
Okay,
more the more you put
yeah,
into it, the more you become better. And well, you're better than I am. I haven't started. I play around a little bit.
yeah. But no,
All right.
that's how you get good, by playing around with it. So, but yeah. All right. So I don't have the voiceover set up, so I'm going to
You
share the
gonna?
information. Huh?
Oh, you gonna read it?
I am. It's just about a minute. Um, but I do have my visual prepared. So let's show our visual, and then we'll try to.
All right. I'm ready.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, let's share that. I wish it was bigger, but that's okay. We're gonna make it work. All
And
right.
the sounds.
So there is no. I'm gonna read it. There's no sound.
Oh,
But you will see the visuals. But yes, I'm just gonna be slow with
okay.
it so I can catch up with the
Gotcha.
visuals. Okay, so if you've ever hit pause on a game to grab a snack or swapped out a disc to try something new, you're using technology pioneered by a man who was nearly forgotten by history, and his name was Jerry Lawson. All right. He is a self taught engineer from Queens. Lawson spent his teens repairing neighbors' TVs and building his own ham radio station. By the 1970s, he was one of the only Black engineers in Silicon Valley, and often the only person of color in the room, including at the legendary Homebrew Computer Club. In 1976, Lawson led the team at Fairchild Semiconductor that changed everything. Games were built into the before him, games were built into the console. So if you wanted a new game, you had to buy a whole new machine. Lawson's team created the Fairchild Channel F, the first console to use interchangeable cartridges, and He gave us the very first home pause button and the 8-way digital joystick. Lawson later founded Video Soft, the first black-owned game development company. And though he was a hidden figure for decades, he is now recognized as the founding father of the $200 billion gaming industry. Jerry Lawson didn't just play the game, he fundamentally changed how the world plays it. So, definitely proud to share about Jerry Lawson.
Oh, wow. Jen, that is truly amazing when you look at it in terms of the video games that we have right now. All
Yeah.
the now
Like
that we
everything is digital, right? But just think back to, you know, the consoles, and like it you had to change out, if you want a different game, you had to get a whole new gadget. I can sadly remember, the cartridges, with consoles. I can even remember like playing Family Feud on a good friend's Commodore 64. Like it was a big deal if you had a Commodore 64 computer. So, I can appreciate, him coming up with something like that. I read that he was inspired by 8 tracks and he wanted it to be able to, like, you could pop it out, pop in, pop
Mhm,
out.
mhm.
So yeah, I mean, and this should just kind of set the stage for where gaming is now. Obviously, everything's digital. There's no cartridges needed and things like that. There were discs, but it all started from this, concept. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and it is interesting the way that he went through all this and we never knew about him.
Yeah. And it
It-
really
it-
wasn't that long ago. This
right.
is like the 70s and 80s, so yeah.
Wow. But he was a tall dude, 6'6".
He was, yeah. And then Google even recognized him with the little image here. Oh, wait.
He,
Um,
he got a doodle
yeah, he had a doodle. So that was pretty cool that they recognized him on a Google doodle.
this month.
No, I think it was a while ago.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool.
He's still alive?
He did pass away.
Oh.
I'm gonna say like 2010.
Oh man.
But yeah.
But he
Um,
that's a great contribution. Denise is liking the Black History. Thank you, Denise. Yes, we're doing Black History. Tiffany says that was a plan to keep all of us hidden so we wouldn't know that we are great people. This is truly our history. This is Black history at its finest. That's true.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
we did
definitely good.
unearth a lot of them when we went back into looking at some of the others. I know, Jen, you had a few that you wanted to mention today. Uh, which
Oh,
one?
some of the other inventors. Yeah, yeah, we recently had been learning about some other inventors and decided to condense it down. But obviously we talked about Garrett Morgan, who had innovation with the traffic light and other um,
The gas mask.
gas mask. And so that was a great one. And another one I didn't know about was Marie Van Britton Brown, who was responsible for creating a home security system. Can you imagine a black woman? I have to pull up the year. I want to say was it the 50s? And she came up with which became the home security system. So I was really excited about
Ring
learning on
alarm.
that one. Mhm.
Today's ring alarm started all from there.
Yeah, we always had an alarm, and I always was. Oh, she died in 1999. Okay, but yeah, that was in 1966, so that's not that long ago either.
Hmm.
When she invented the home security system with the video footage. Can you imagine? Like you said, everyone has one. But yeah,
Wait, hers had the video footage too.
yeah. Like I came across of like images of the concept. Yeah, and it did have the video.
But And I think this is where, if I'm not correct, this is, oh wait, you have one more, the legendary John, is it George Speck
George
Crumb,
Speck,
aka
also
Crumb,
known as George Crumb, correct. And he
inventor
was
of the potato chip.
potato chip.
And who doesn't
He's
know
a,
this guy?
you know what? A lot of people do not.
Okay, so tell us the story.
So he's American chef.
Right.
Um, I wasn't prepared because we decided to scale it
All
down.
right, I'll tell you the story.
So
He
yes,
was
there
a
you go.
he was a chef, and he was working at a restaurant at the back. So one time, a customer came and they were asking for potatoes. So he cut up the potatoes and sent them out. Well, the person who asked for the potatoes, ordered the potatoes, did not like the way the potatoes looked like. So then decided, hey, I want to send them back. This guy got mad that they were sent back, so he decided, as a to kind of spate the way it is, and that's why I don't like sending my food back to the kitchen. So, needless to say, right? So he went and chopped them up into thin slices because the person had apparently complained that they were too thick. The
Hmm.
potatoes were too big. So he chopped them up into thin slices and served them back. Had to go back to the front, and I guess with the act of him or the customer receiving the chips, as they were now called, into thinner slices, they were like, "Oh wow, this looks great," and then there got born the potato chip.
Hmm. Yeah, so it's interesting how that worked out.
So I was saying, um, this idea, and why, this is my thought, why a lot of these people were pushed to the back burner is because it was also may have been intentional. I'm going to use may carefully, uh, because did you know BMW did have an electric car back in 1974?
Okay.
So the car was running back in 1974,
Hmm.
before Tesla started making these cars and telling you, oh yeah, cars. No, they did have a prototype back in 74.
Hmm.
But these are those white elephants where somebody comes in, creates them, then they decide, no, we're not going to do it, and then
Hmm.
it changes over and over again until somebody picks it up later. So you can imagine they probably had it done in their labs, in their research and development, but they weren't
Hmm.
being given credit. And then somebody comes and takes it over. Like maybe they got fired, and then somebody comes and takes it over. Then you don't get to hear about it. But when they
Hmm.
searching the records, they're like, wait a minute, no, 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 no. Such and such a person was in this company when this thing was being made. They are the ones who sat and did the whole thing and then left it in the back burner. And then now you are seeing it. So there could be that possibility. I'm not saying that it wasn't
Hmm.
intentional, but there could be some intent of that, and that's how these things got to disappear. Now, so some of them were lucky enough to have held on to their patents and said, you know what, this is mine, and I'm not gonna release it, and that's how they showed up. Now, traffic lights, gas inventor. I think
Hmm.
the the the, the toilet thingy is part and parcel of that too.
Hmm.
Lights, with Thomas Edison, is part of it, and their whole generation. I mean, there are a lot of people. I sent you something that had almost like eight, and these are in the 80s, who had patents for stuff that we use up to date.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of inventors out there that have not been recognized, and I think this particular month or this year, uh, so far we have tried to engage and put up a lot of the people who are actually not known, or as we call them, hidden figures, because they're
Hmm.
truly not hidden. Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
I've
definitely.
got to ask you a question, Jen. When you look at the way, with like the person you are, Jerry Lawson, the person you are speaking about today, what
Hmm.
are the hardships, and how do they get around their hardships to be able to get to where they are? Because I know they did um, get into some hardships along the way. How are they able to accomplish and get into, showing the resilience?
I can only imagine, being a black man and being the only black person in the room, in that technology, industry, that he had probably had a lot of obstacles and things to overcome. But he was very self-determined and confident in what he put out. Um, yeah, I mean, but it was a different time. Even though it was the 70s, you still, he may have had to deal with people, trying to take credit for his work and things like that. Who knows
Right.
if, like, it's documented that he was instrumental at this company creating it. But at the time, who knows if he really got credit and, probably not, financially rewarded in the right way. But, people go back and look things up, and so now we know he was responsible for it. But he probably didn't get his obviously his just due at the time. So, but yeah.
Yeah, because one of the other things, remember when we were talking about uh, the brown condo, Mr.
Hmm.
Robinson, he had to actually do he had to request so many times to be able to get into the school. And I think one of the audios that I was listening to with regard to his story is that they were told, okay, fine, you know what, let him do it. You know, if he fails, he fails. Then we know we cannot put him in. But apparently, he went in and passed. Um, they were not sure that they would have a black person in that college who
Hmm.
could be able to actually do that. And he even built a plane on his own. He and some other professors, um, and up to going to create a film school, not film school, but a flying school, where
Yeah.
he was strictly trying to target the African Americans at that time and say, you know what, you have a space, even though you may not be recognized at this moment in time, you still have a chance.
Hmm.
I might add, he was technically not the first one to fly. There was another black guy. He was of Jamaican descent, and
Okay.
I think he is mixed with the Indians. I have to find out. I read about him. It was just in a passing, and it was so quick I didn't put it down. But um, yeah, people had to undergo a whole lot of stuff before they could make it. And considering at that time, with Jim Crow laws and what have you,
Hmm.
it must have been really hard to survive. And Tiffany says here, how many times have we all found ourselves being the only one in a room?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, we do find ourselves like that. By the way, how have you felt when you're the only one? Do you look at it as a like, oh, you know, I'm not going to be taken in, or I'm just a token, or you'll be like, I deserve to be here.
No, I definitely, and this is just over time, being in corporate America and, in different facets, you learn that you have to really show up. You have to show everyone in the room that you deserve to be here and that you're intelligent. You know that you're intelligent. You know that you need to be in the room, but it's go time. You know what I mean? And so you kind of just have to hype yourself up and just turn it on. And rather than just being yourself. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I think at that point, when you're the only one in the room, you kind of feel you have a load on your shoulders because you have to prove yourself to be worthy of the position. But you shouldn't look at it, you have to prove it because you've already proved it. If they're asking you to sit at the table, if they're offering a seat at the table, you actually belong there. So don't go to it like you do not deserve. You do deserve.
Right.
So start working yourself out from the place of, I deserve to be here and let me see what I can do. I may not know what they know, but by being around them, I'll probably get to know, what goes around on this table, because if you're not
Hmm.
on that table, you don't know what's being done. So once you get that experience, oh, you're gonna be better 10 times, you know.
Oh yeah.
So
Hmm.
bring in your authenticity and
Hmm.
show out, and definitely you will be able to make it. So for all those who find themselves as the only one in the room, I think don't despair. It may sound hard, We also see this in like in the normal stuff, like the coaches in
Mhm.
the NFL. I mean, a coach comes in, you have a losing season, they put you there for 2 weeks. You know, like, ah, man, he's 2-10, only to be changed and kicked out, and then you get a Caucasian guy coming in, and the team suddenly turns from a 2-10 season to a 2-2 whatever 2-14 season to 10-4,
Mhm.
10-6 season, and you're like, okay, what was wrong? No, it's just the way things were made, or you're probably sitting there to be managed, but the way it looks, it makes it, the optics don't look good.
Mhm.
But it's not that those people don't show up. They come in and do their job, but just not given the right chances. Some few coaches have made their chances, have gotten their chances, and showed that, hey, you know what, we can do it, and they've done a great
Right.
job. Yeah, so
That's
I think
true.
there's something to be learned from coaching. One of the things that coaching, um, yeah, but another one is basketball,
Mhm.
which is very weird. Um, this Jackson, the coach for the Golden State Warriors before Steve Kerr was Jackson. I know the last name is Jackson, and he used to play. I think he played for the Indiana Pacers, and he was very good.
Mhm.
Um, he played. He went and coached. I think 3 seasons for the
Mhm.
Golden State Warriors. Got fired. Then Steve Kerr came in, and that was murder she wrote. After that, they won all those championships and became
Right.
a dynasty. And then that
Mhm.
makes you wonder: was it that he was bad, or what happened? What happened? But
Mhm.
I think what I would say in that situation is that the coach wasn't bad. He just prepared it and made it right and ripe for the next person to take over. And Steve Kerr
Mhm.
found a team that was ready, and he took it over and won those championships. So you're not despairing, you're not losing. You're just there to push it, even though, I would have loved him to be the one to win those games.
True. But yeah, you can basically make a difference. You alone can make a difference. So give yourself grace. It is a lot of pressure sometimes being the only one, but yeah, give yourself grace and just, show up for yourself.
All right.
So,
Yeah, always,
yeah.
always show up. I think for me, I always try to show up and do what I can. It might be
Mhm.
hard. Nobody said it's not hard, but nobody said it's going to be easy. But just do your best. And when you do your best,
Yes.
people acknowledge that. There's always something about us as a community when we come in. Yeah, like Denise said, period. There's something about us. We bring something different and something new as a community. So
Mhm.
whether they say, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be like this, like that," no. At the
Mhm.
end of it all, we bring something that is great and blacktastic. Like Tiffany says, we are always the people to lay the foundation, so someone else steps in to take the reward. Absolutely
Mhm.
right. Absolutely right.
Mhm.
1000%. Couldn't have said it better. Thank you for summarizing for me. I know I
All
said
right.
a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I found out for this last 3 weeks that we've done um this Black History Month, and
Mhm.
like I said in the beginning, the fact that we're doing the people that have not been talked about or not being talked
Mhm.
about. And I always make, I know I'm making, it's not really I'm making fun of it, but um, yeah, the Garrett Morgans, the George Specks, those will be people who will come first on the list anytime, hands down. Even when I remember this past week, one of the local high schools did a Black History Month, and when I looked at the sheet of the
Mhm.
people that they were highlighting, yeah, these were the people that came in mind. Even though they added Barack Obama as one of the people there, Condoleezza Rice was
Mhm.
there as
Okay.
the but these two had to appear as one of the first. But
Well, that's
let me tell you
good.
how.
Yeah, that's great.
Now, question. I don't know why when I say question, it reminds me about this podcast, Jamaican, the monkeys, the two monkeys. One quick question, father.
Oh gosh, you're so
We need
silly.
to go. But what do we have for next week? I know we're kind of winding down
Yeah, that'll
this
be
week.
our last week for Black History, so we
Right.
will have to put
No, but
our.
Black History is 24/7, 365.
It is, but the series,
Our series, yeah.
yeah. So
What do you have for next week?
So, yeah, I mean, I feel like we should, have something really significant. So we'll have to. I have some thoughts, but I haven't really.
Oh, okay. I think I have the cook, because it's part of we've done arts, and these are inventors, and the trailblazers. Then next week, I'm culinary. I think I'm gonna do culinary art,
Really?
because
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get like into the writers, and
best in the
so
world.
what is it?
Black people food is the best in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, we're not mad at
Pork
that.
chops, chops.
Yeah, I
Collard greens,
mean,
everything.
all right. So maybe
That's
some
good food right
civil
there.
rights or some writers. Yeah, so.
Are you gonna do a writer?
I would love to. So yeah, I
Hmm.
may go that route.
Oh, okay. Writers are yeah, writers are good. Langston Hughes, right?
Or Lorraine Hansberry, Zora Hurston, Paul Robeson. I mean, it's just, so many,
Yeah, a lot.
but yeah,
Yeah,
something or Gwendolyn Brooks, I might miss some Phyllis Wheatley, some poets or something.
look what
I
you
used to
can do.
write poetry back in the day when I was a little teenager, and I thought I so
Yeah,
I'm like,
look at
yeah.
you.
And I always wanted to be a writer, so I admire my Black writers for sure. So I'm kind of feeling that energy. But
Does Maya Angelou fit in?
I mean, we love Maya Angelou.
But she's known. But wow,
Yeah, yeah.
your you named
I,
so many writers that I
Nikki
haven't heard. Oh, Nikki
Giovanni.
Giovanni too.
That would
Definitely
be
say Nikki
amazing.
Giovanni.
She just passed away too.
Oh,
Yep, sure did.
I know somebody called Nikki Giovanni. Oh, I didn't realize that they were named after the writer.
Oh, really? Okay, that's
See,
cool.
people should name their kids good, names after some of these people. And then you go back
Mm-hmm.
and look at the history. You kind of find out that they're part of Black history.
Right. So, okay, but we'll nail it down. And this has been really fun. And we appreciate you guys for being a good sport and going on the ride with us.
Yep, and like I said, most of the time we have all this going on, but I'm so we know the this week was not one of those best weeks that we could say. Losing Reverend
Yeah.
Jackson, wish
Hmm.
we could have something to talk about him in a better manner, but so it's the circle of life, and we have to live by it.
It
And
is. It is.
yeah. So with that, Jen, what I'll say is take us home.
Yeah, so we thank you guys for joining us. We hope that today's conversation has inspired and enlightened you. If you found it meaningful, we appreciate you sharing it with friends and family and colleagues. Our collective awareness and advocacy play a crucial role in creating positive change. We invite you to stay tuned for more engaging content, and we look forward to having these important conversations in the future. So, until next time, thank you and have a
I was
great
Sambaza.
take care.